Kareem Tut, and today's subject is going to be my Kundalini experience. Man, this was a while back ago. This is probably in what's this 2015 now. This was approximately, it had to be around 1998, 1999, something like that. This was during my I was younger then, still young now. I was younger then, and this was my I was into a lot of occult practices. I was young. I was experimenting with Taoist techniques. I was heavy in the Taoist techniques and exercises of with the Falan Dafa and Mantak Chia. I was heavy into all those arts, and I was into yoga, but I found the Taoist arts perfect for me. But anyway, cut to the chase. How did I spark my Kundalini? And during that time, man, it was very powerful. My Kundalini experience was like getting struck by lightning, and during that time, it left a permanent. Not It's not there anymore, but during that time, I thought it wasn't gonna go away. It was like a line going all the way up to here. It's not there anymore, but yeah, it used to be like. But during this time, what sparked it? I was into so much stuff back then. I was even experimenting with drugs, just mainly marijuana. And I think I did many exercises, and me and my group of friends, we were all into metaphysics and occult studies. And I'm still friends with a lot of those guys. And this was all a group of black guys in the hood that we was all into these intellectual things, metaphysics, occult, and but we were hands-on. We were into hands-on applications, exercises, techniques, etc. We all were in relationships with women and stuff. So we also practice sexual alchemy and the Taoist sexual exercises that came under the Taoist banner. But none of those specific techniques worked for me except the Taoist. What's the name of the book? Vitality, Energy, Spirit. This is a Taoist manual. I don't know the exact exercise I did in that book, but I know it was that book that it worked for me. I'm not saying this for you to chase a Kundalini experience. I wouldn't chase it. I will let nature take its course and let it, if you are a cultivated person, it will come natural. But we were young and stupid, so we were into all of these practices and exercises, and I didn't really know. We were already bragging like we already had a Kundalini experience and we were already enlightened beings. But when it hit, after I did that exercise, it was like a flame in the belly of my stomach. I was only imagining. I was doing this particular exercise. I was only imagining that there was a flame in the pit of my stomach. I was following the exercise, and when I stopped, because I felt the sensation didn't go away, and it was like the flame was getting brighter and brighter, and I seen it with my inner mind's eye. I don't know how to explain this, but yeah, I seen it with my inner mind's eye, not with my physical eyes. I seen the flame just getting bigger, and I felt the bottom of my spine triggering, like thumping like this. And so I got kind of nervous, and I got up, And so it started coming up my spine, and as it started coming up my spine, it was sparking off all these chakra points in my body. And I was only bragging about chakras then, but didn't really have an experience until then. And it was like turning on these lights in my body, going up, and I felt the rush of heat and energy, especially when it passed my chest. It made my heart beat real fast, like I didn't ran a marathon. My heart was doom 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 doom. Mind you that I'm dead sober when this happened. So at the time, I was kind of freaking out. I was freaking out. So I got into my car, and my first thought was like, well, let me just drive over my girlfriend's house. So I got into my car. I drove over there, and swear to God, I was like, while I was driving, it was like a computer rebooting. It's like everything just went black, and then rebooted out of nowhere, and I really started freaking out then. And I felt the energy coming up the back of my neck, and it started burning right at the top of the spine. It started burning so bad that I couldn't hold my head back. So I was driving, went over my girlfriend's house, knocked on the door. I rushed to her room. She was like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And I was just like, nothing. She was like, you been smoking weed? I was like, nah. And man, this was terrifying then, but it's funny now. But it did help with me going over there, because she kind of grounded me. Being around her, because what I did was went over there, and she kept, I told her to give me some water. I was drinking a lot of water. I was sweating profusely, and so she just laid a towel on my neck, and I laid down, and the powerful symptoms went away, and but it settled to where it kept the energy was just sprinkling out of my head like a water faucet. And it just, during that time, it felt like a brick was sitting on top of my head, and it felt like something was hanging out of the middle of my head. So I'm just, during that time, I'm like, well, that's the third eye, whatever it was. But it felt like something was literally hanging out of my head. And those symptoms lasted for 3 years. None of the horrifying Kundalini symptoms, like the heat rush of the spine, but I never felt. I basically had a new body, and I was trying to learn how to drive in it. So, but the benefits far outweigh the negative, the so-called negative effects of a premature Kundalini experience that I experienced. And so yeah, that's what happened. And going over my girlfriend's house calmed it down, but I did have the effects for like 3 years until it settled and started cultivating the energy, until I learned the techniques to ground my energy. And but that's my Kundalini experience, man. And I hope it was entertaining to you. But my name is Kareem Tut, and I'll speak with you again. Peace.